Alright guys, welcome back to the GSL Team League. We've got Slayer's Boxer versus MVP Guinea Pig coming up here. The map is ZeNEX Caverns. I couldn't ask for a more exciting match, man.
No, it's been a really good game so far and only going to get better from here.
That's exactly right. We were talking about the Emperor slumping a little bit, but he's still a top player, and he knows his own standing within the team better than anyone. He's the greatest talent scout in the world, man.
Well, there's a difference between slumping because you can't keep up, or slumping because you don't physically have enough time to sit there and practice. Like, I know you've had this sometimes. I've had it. We do so much on the side that we sit back down and go to play, and our brain goes, do this, and the fingers just can't keep up because you don't have enough time.
But I think that if Boxer is coming out here, he's feeling confident if Sella has chosen him and he feels confident to go out, he's probably been practicing a lot. Because Boxer just doesn't go, I'll just do it, whatever, what the hell. No, he's not like that.
He loves his fans too.
He does, exactly. He wants to look good for his fans. Obviously, anyone does. Boxer's got maybe more fans than anyone in StarCraft right now. And so obviously Sully's going to talk to him a little bit about maybe what build he wants to do on this map, or maybe just trying to work out those settings. But
I have a feeling this was long planned.
If I were Boxer as well, I think I'd be a little bit nervous, just because there's so many eyes on him. It's very stressful. So
I don't know, when you're sitting in his shoes as well, nothing that you do can really affect people who love you.
That's true.
Just the way it works.
No matter whether Boxer wins or loses, I'm still going to love him.
Exactly.
I'm like Boxer's mom. Honey, if you win or lose, I'll still love you. But seriously, there's a lot of pressure on it. I don't know if you guys have seen the Boxer's Wings interviews and documentaries, but you can see in some of those, he's very upset with his results so far in StarCraft 2. He wants to do better. And
that's understandable, though.
Yeah. The Emperor himself, I am not worthy. Maybe is that what that says? Yeah, yep. I am not worthy. That's what we're talking about, those fans. They're out there, and Boxer wants to put on a good show for them.
I have no doubt he will.
I think we may see a very interesting build we've never seen before. Something like we've seen with the Xel'Naga Watchtower Supply Depot block, something like that. We could see something like that. I mean, he's Slayer's Boxer. He's invented things in the past. He's found some of the greatest players in the world to make some might say the greatest StarCraft 2 team in existence right now.
Well, their recent results have leaned in that direction. We'll see if they can go through for another team league. This one, of course, a little bit more long-term.
Yeah, this one's very, very long. Obviously going until September, like we said earlier, and you're going to play a lot of teams they haven't played against before necessarily, like us, eventually.
But I like that, though. It's just like a best-of-3 versus a best-of-5. The more you play the teams, the more fleshed out you can see how well they stack up.
Yeah, and also you can see players that you just don't see before. I love Slayer's Boxer as much as I love Kimchi. For some people, that might be not a lot, but I like Kimchi a lot. Have you tried any since you've been here?
No, I'm a very picky eater, so I'll gradually get to everything.
Our new player, Oz Haksu, we went out to barbecue with him a few nights ago, and Sheth was there, and Haksu was like, "You must eat," and he was telling him to eat the kimchi, and Sheth was very nervous, but he did eat it, and I ate it with him as well. I was like, it's not that bad, see? Kimchi is actually, it's hard to get used to, but it's really, really good, in my opinion, once you get used to it. There's a lot of things like that in Korea, like the subway system. At first I was a little like, I'm not used to public transportation, but now I love it. It's great. You can get around with it quite easily.
Yeah. It looks so complicated, you're going to get lost every time, and then once you do it once, you're like, yeah. That's all right.
It's very different than what I'm used to, but of course, Korea's systems for everything, their public transportation is really, really good. So if you come here to Seoul, Korea, you want to get to the studio, look up the subway maps. Just look up Seoul Subway, and you'll see a huge map that's very, very detailed. It'll be in English for you.
That is true. On the subway, they do have English translations as well.
That's true. Yeah, when you're in the subway, almost everything in Korea is printed in English for transportation, so you won't get lost, you won't get confused, and it's a pretty nice place to be.
After the first time.
Well, yeah. Does get a little confusing when you first get there. The streets are very different than they are in the United States as well.
There you go.
There's a shot of MMA.
Looking on.
Sitting next to Min.
And just noticed everyone's watching him as well.
Yeah.
All right.
As we noticed that everyone was watching us, we were looking down at the screen just like they were, and they're like, oh.
Got to talk to the camera. All right, so it looks like both players are in the game.
Yeah, it looks like they're ready. The countdown has started. This is going to be really intense, unstable.
It is.
It's going to be MVP Guinea Pig versus Slayers Boxer. The map is Zelnaga Caverns. Who's going to take the lead?
I'm not saying anything.
All right, we'll find out here at the GSTL. All right, up here at the top position, he is the Emperor. Transform Starcraft and a ton of fans in the audience, a ton of fans on the internet, a fan in my very seat. His opponent spawning as Terran this game on the team MVP. He is none other
MVP Guinea Pig.
known as MVP Guinea Pig.
So we're going to see another mirror matchup coming up from Guinea Pig.
And when you get a mirror matchup with random, it's kind of interesting. It shows, I think it's the hardest to be in the randoms position sometimes. In some matchups, it's good, like ZVZ or PvP, where scouting is really important in the early game, and you can just lose if you don't know what your opponent's doing, so you get kind of an advantage. But as the game drags on, as it gets specific, if you're a real Terran player, you know the matchup better than the random does. You just do.
Well, you have so many more matchups to learn, and some players do have a weak PvZ but strong PvP. And what?
In Boxer-like fashion, we see him putting his first barracks very far forward at the gold base of his opponent. I'm wondering what we're going to see next. It may just be he tries to put a little bit of pressure on. A lot of players right now have been going for gas first, and if you do something like this, you get some Marines in there, you can put a little bit of pressure on and punish him for that. Yeah. He may proxy a second barracks. He has sent a second SCV out, but it could just be for scouting. Nice. Do see a little bit of a scout here for Guinea Pig, knowing that Boxer's been known to do things like this, and it is going to be a second barracks.
Oh, here we go.
This is not BBS because this is StarCraft 2, but two very quick barracks put very far forward.
Guinea Pig doing a very good job of scouting all the regular positions, but this spot here, I think he's actually going to miss it. Oh my god.
Well, that works out very well in Boxer's favor. Although, when that SCV gets into the main of Slayer's Boxer, that's when he's going to know something's up.
By then, it could be a little bit too late, though, as that second barracks is almost complete as well. He sees a supply depot.
Yeah, he's going to need to make a bunker immediately. Right now, he's going to see the orbital command is late. There's no gas. There's no barracks. Needs to make a bunker right now, or he is going to be in a lot of trouble.
There's the SCV. Look, hasn't really decided what he wants to do yet. Boxer going already with 2 Marines and an SCV. There's no bunker.
He's just going to make a command center. This is the boldest thing I've ever seen. He's not going to be able to hold this very easily without a bunker. Now, he is going to have the ramp advantage here. There is going to be an SCV. Boxer may wait for 4. If he waits for 4, that'll be the smart choice. Goes up with 4 on the SCV, and if there's no bunker there, it's going to be very difficult for Guinea Pig to hold. Guinea
Pig must be feeling very confident with his Marine control right now. There's going to be 3 versus 4, but that SCV will be able to take a couple of hits if he wants to. He does see them coming up the ramp now, attacking the SCV. Is the wrong thing to do. 1 Marine goes down. There's still 4 versus 2. SCVs being pulled here by Guinea Pig, now forcing Boxer back, but that many Marines.
He is going to have to run away until this joins up with 6 Marines. He may want to wait for A, but I think he is going to go up here. He just wants to make sure the bunker doesn't get up.
The bunker silhouette was there, but I don't think he wanted to go for it. Might be wanting to put it back in position. That command center is almost done, but he's got to survive these Marines. SCV's being dropped here, focusing down the Marines by Boxer.
Boxer doing some great control here. A lot of those Marines on low hit points. He's going to wait for 2 more, sending the weaker Marines to the back. And Guinea Pig, I don't think he knows what to do here. He's desperately trying to put a bunker down, but he just can't. Loses that SCV, forces to cancel.
Perfect decision making.
Does finish, but it may not matter if he dies here.
It's not going to matter. He can't deal with this many Marines. He's got 2 in the mix, but Boxer's control here is insane.
Great control by Boxer. Runs away. The SCV is being pulled off the line. It's a lot of lost mine time, and every time 2 more Marines join into the mix, it gets more and more difficult to deal with. Good control by Guinea Pig, but I just don't think he has enough. He's losing too much.
I think he's trying to bait Boxer up, but he's trying to. But Boxer's staying away, and trying to focus down those Marines. And Guinea Pig's pulling back at the perfect time for that to happen.
Exactly. Normally, when you do this, you try to mineral walk behind using the SCVs so you can surround. But this is just
so many SCVs.
Yeah, this is just silly at this point. 22.
But 22
SCVs to 8.
He does now have a second mule.
That's true. Double mules and double SCV production. All he needs to do is get a bunker up, and he actually may be able to stabilize. But I don't think
Boxer going again. I think he's just going to go for it this time. All these SCVs go down. Oh my God! All the Marines drop. There's still 4 Marines here for Boxer.
That's it, man. That's it. That's gonna be it.
That's it. He's got 4 SCVs in the main here for Guinea Pig. That's it.
More and more Marines rallying in. There's no way he can hold this. He can't get a bunker up safely. And even though he has 2 command centers, he's going to lose everything he has, and every SCV and every build that comes out after that will die. That's going to be it. He is going to micro back here.
He's focusing down the Marines yet again.
Back in Boxer's base, he's already got a factory up. He's added a tech lab. He's got a starport going up. He's probably just going to follow this up with Banshees if his opponent just continues to try to fight it.
He's actually fighting quite a bit of money at the moment. He's at about 500, probably waiting for that command center.
Yep, and there it is. Boxer has made a command center at his natural. Maybe realizing I can't actually force you to leave the game. You are going to be able to,
well, you want to be safe at the same time.
Exactly. So, just going to want to play it safe instead of just kind of putting all his eggs in one basket. Let his minerals get up too high.
Yep. There are quite a few Marines back here in Guinea Pig's base as well. That second mule keeping him in it.
Yeah, that mule being really helpful. Of course, 26 SCVs to 7 SCVs is not somewhere you want to be, but he does have double command centers. He can produce 2 mules at a time, of course, with 2 SCVs.
He's going to go for the final ditch effort here. Nice control by Boxer. Getting a lot of SCVs down. Only 4 left, but those Marines here from Guinea Pig will force him out of the base yet again.
Indeed, they do. And so, of course, right now, 11 Marines right now.
Oh, he's got a Banshee with Cloak.
Yeah, he's getting Cloak. Banshee's on the way. He's already got a tank on the way as well. The tank is driving down. He's going to use that tank to tank a lot of damage.
I see what you did there.
So even though he's had that second command center for longer, he just hasn't been able to keep up with his SCVs.
I do like how Boxer hasn't overextended himself.
Exactly. And this is going to be, I think, unfortunately it for Guinea Pig. This tank is just going to be able to do too much damage. Tanks actually do so much DPS even in tank mode.
Takes the SCV out using that, building that factory.
And again, he just backs up because he doesn't have to be there.
No.
He doesn't have to trade those armies. He's just backing away. Every time that 5, 6, 7, 8 SCVs get pulled, that's a lot of lost mine time. And when you only have like 10 SCVs, you pull 8 of them, it starts to get pretty bad.
Yep. And he is focusing on those mules as well, which means this Cloak Banshee will come in and really be effective. Looks like he's going up the ramp yet again. Guinea Pig forcing him back. The Marines at the top of the ramp really helping out here. He's cleaning up all of Boxer's Marines.
And in fact, he does clean it up, but the Banshee is going to be the real problem here. These Marines don't have stim.
He does have a bunker up now as well.
That's true. He does have the bunker to help him out. But when this Banshee comes in here, if she's controlled properly, there's almost nothing that you can do against a Banshee when you don't have stim.
Oh, he just dropped a mule as well. Cloak is just finished right then as well.
Does have enough for 1 scan. He's going to have to make it count.
There we go, GG! And that's why you don't doubt the Emperor.
You don't doubt the Emperor. And you don't make a command center when you scout that there are no barracks in the base and there aren't any gas there. You just don't do it. No, he may have been thinking, okay, it's just 1. There's the Emperor. I'm going to hold the thought about the strategy. Oh, I love that. Saluting him. He looks so happy. A good strategy by the Emperor. I keep calling him the Emperor. His idea is, of course, Slayer's Boxer. He's just been nicknamed the Emperor. And it was an interesting strategy. I think what Guinea Pig was thinking was, he's not going to hide 2, he's only going to hide 1. If he hides 1, I have good micro. I can still hold this. I can still get my command center. I'll be way ahead.
Well, he did defend himself well enough to begin with. But as soon as he seemed really nervous to put down that bunker, like you saw the silhouette quite a few times, but just never committed to it.
Yeah. If he had just gotten one of the bunkers up, even not necessarily at the top of the ramp, would have been much easier to defend. It would, of course, force Boxer to maneuver around certain areas.
Yep.
And as it turned out, Boxer just came up there. He didn't make the bunker. Making the command center was okay. We should have made the bunker first, just to be safe. And that would have, of course, triggered Boxer to probably have to make his own command center, and the game would have gone on to a much longer game.
All right, so who do you think we're going to see from MVP? I don't think it's a very hard question, but...
That is a really good question. We could see Genius, because you know who knocked Boxer out of the Super Tournament?
Sure.
It was MVP Genius. And then afterwards he gave me a shirt. And I was like, I love this shirt, but Boxer lost, and I was all sad. But I think it might be Genius. Genius's PvT recently has been pretty good. There are other options, though. Of course, there are a lot of players on MVP that we've just never even heard of or seen. I mean, I've heard of almost all of them at this point. I've looked at their roster. I've seen them at the qualifiers. MVP's team is actually huge. It's massive. It's got like 24 players on it. They all stay in the house. It's a pretty cramped house.
Most of them stay in the house. I believe it's 18 in the house.
Okay, so only 18 in the house. They all have their names on the back of their shirts, and I saw them at the qualifiers, and they're a great team. Even though they're huge, they have this great bond. Everyone knows everyone, and they all just kind of move around with this big cloud of MVP players. So they're very supportive of each other. Very similar to the FOU clan. I always notice that FOU, Slayers, and MVP are like the teams, I think, where whenever someone's playing, a lot of people come to the studio. They're all very supportive of each other. Not to say the other teams aren't, but they're just so much more so, I think.
Yep. It's good to be like that. It's good to have the support, especially in the places like the Codec qualifiers, like here. It's very, very stressful situation for anyone.
It's extremely stressful, especially if you're there your first time in the booth. That could be very, very stressful. So we'll see, though. I think it's going to be Genius. Who's it going to be?
And who is it? No.
Dongregu! All right, so this should be really interesting. Dongregu showed some of the best CBT I've ever seen against SC FOU.
Yep.
And
very good at late game as well.
He is an all-around good player. He plays very safe. He defends all-ins extremely well. His late game is solid. He likes to use the Mutalist style, but he's not necessarily just going to do that.
Yep. This is their last hope for MVP. Currently 3-1.
And I like that choice of using Dongregu because he's just shown so many results recently. Now, this match is very important for Dongregu himself, and I'll tell you guys why. Obviously, Dongregu is still not in Code A. He's done really well in other individual tournaments. He's done well in the Team League. But I can tell, I've seen him in person, and I can tell that he feels right now that people don't think that he's as good as he is, and he wants to prove himself. In the qualifiers, he lost his game. There was actually a stream of it, so many of you guys may have seen it. He lost his game to OGS Hero and burst into tears, and of course, he just really, really wants to prove himself. He's got so many fans here in Korea. He is one of the most popular players right now in StarCraft 2. He's got so many fans. There's a ton of fans of Dongregu. I know they're sitting there in the Team Liquid IRC right now being like, I'm a fan of him. I really like him.
Absolutely.
He is a really strong player.
He's been in this situation before quite a bit as well.
Yeah, he is the guy to pull out last. And it's funny, I was thinking Genius just because Genius beat Boxer before, but I think Dongregu is a much better choice given that he has to win the rest of the games. Exactly.
And he has done it, if not 3 games, he's done at least 2 before. So, good choice by MVP, I think. A very
solid
obvious,
anchor.
A little bit kind of choice. Like, it's very predictable. But we'll see. Set 5 will be Crevasse. Ooh.
So, that's a good choice, I think. Crevasse is a map that a lot of Zerg players don't like because it makes the Terran able to take that very, very fast big backdoor expansion, as we call it. It's not a full expansion. It's got a rich mineral geyser. Thanks for all the tweets about that, guys. I actually was told otherwise so many times, and then I looked it up on the map on the Korean server, and it wasn't. But then on the GSL, it was rich.
There's so many different versions of it.
Yeah, there are so many different
Terminus.
versions. But yeah, this does have rich gas at the backdoor expansion. So thanks for all the tweets. It's finally been verified. So that's why a lot of times you see players take that gas first. So the mystery has been solved about that. That was why casting those games with Super Term. Like, why do people keep taking that gas super fast, like long distance mining from it and stuff? Like, what's so special about that gas? All right, so the countdown has started. Can Dongregu bring MVP back into this, or will the Emperor crush him and secure a victory for Slayers? Let's find out on Crevasse.